Can you surmise what Roddy Piper meant to the business in the aspect that he went against the grain and did things that promoters maybe didn't like? What did he mean to the business in that aspect?
Well, he was an incredibly... Oh, Jesus. Take two.
Excuse me, I didn't know you, Rob. I didn't...
Roddy he was an individual. And he was... I think even Vince McMahon said the most bombastic performer in the history of the WWE. But, when I was a kid, I wanted to be like Roddy Piper because he was cool and he said all those cool things and he talked and he'd boom. And at the same time, the fans, even when they hated him, he was the guy you loved to hate. Roddy was, he was one of a kind.
He was one of the rare individuals, would you agree, that got more pleasure out of being booed than he would cheered?
Oh, definitely. Because that was what Roddy was good at. I mean, people gradually grew to love him because he was that way, but he was the guy that didn't take any crap from anybody. He was the guy that followed his own path. He was the guy that would verbally or physically eviscerate anybody, and people gradually grew to like that. But he didn't want to be a good guy. He wanted to be popular because he was so bad, if that makes sense.
Yeah. And last question. How did he change the course of being the villain? How much would wrestling today be different had he not come along and been the trailblazer?
It would be very different. I think that Piper, he was able to adapt to the MTV era because you didn't have to listen to Roddy long to be drawn in. I mean, there was always something happening, there was always something going on, and you never knew what he was going to say. So you had to pay attention the first time you saw him. He could stand there and do nothing but play bagpipes and have people want to kill him. So I think it would have been very different because as the attention spans got shorter and MTV came along and cable television and 400 channels, you don't get as much time as you used to make an impression. Roddy Piper did not need long to make an impression on people.